Hello everyone, welcome back to another Friday and another casual champion review. It's Mr. Yi time, and oh boy do I have history with Mr. Yi. Bars. This is a champion I actually used to main way back in the day, though I don't think that's entirely uncommon. From my interactions with friends and just other people I know, it seems to be that a lot of young boys in like the early teens, at least like most men who play League, have gone through a Master Yi phase at some point in their lives. I also gotta be careful my blue buff doesn't get stolen because there's an Ivern on the enemy team. I can't remember the last time that I actually fought against an Ivern, which, speaking of, he seems to... Yep. You know what else is great like Ivern? Probably a tangent like that. Fan art section, look at all those Yis. There's also, this is the post-game recording right now because there's a bit of an invade that happens, and I wasn't really able to commentate on the fan art section too much, but it is absolutely wonderful. There's not a whole lot of it, though I will say I am very much anticipating Melio because I love Melio's whole aesthetic and the flamingos. I feel bad saying that there's not much this week. You guys do it for free just because you feel like it. I have no right to say that. Thank you, fellas, for the people who do it. It's absolutely wonderful. It makes my day. Thank you so much. I can time this. I should even use it. No. Okay, cool. And now I can use it. You daft. Oh. Cool. That's gonna make the game significantly easier. Makes the game a lot easier, but Ash did not get the kills, and so we lose now. I love AD carry mentality. So as for his lore, Master Yi, or I guess at this point he was just called Yi, grew up in the village of Wuju, which Wuju is a fighting style made in Ionia, but Wuju is also a place in Ionia, like New York, I guess, unless New York was a kind of fighting style. And he was raised by his swordsmith parents, who raised him on good moral principles and values, discipline and poetry and combat, and he exceeded all expectations. His parents couldn't have been prouder of his dedication to the craft, and he grew so skilled that eventually, even at a young age, he was inducted into the order to learn the ways of Wuju from the masters. Which, for those who don't know, Wuju is a special kind of fighting style in Ionia, with its whole gimmick being that it taps into the spirit realm to give them enhanced strength and speed. And even learning with Wuju, Yi surpassed all expectations again, so much so that the people of the village started calling him Young Master Yi, for he was so skilled even at a young age. But even despite of his skill, he was still a humble fellow. But he was curious. He didn't want to explore the rest of Ionia, as he could see from down the mountainside the other people in the other villages. God damn, I knew it. But his masters forbade him from venturing beyond the village of Wuju, for the rest of the world could not know of their secret. Wuju was too sacred and too powerful to share with the world. And so he would remain isolated in the village of Wuju for quite a time. That was until the Noxian invasion of Ionia. It seems like every Ionian champion's main character arc is centered around this one event. Like, even characters you wouldn't think, like Lilia, who's just completely in her own separate world, still main character arc is because of the Noxian invasion. Oh, rabbit. Cool. I am just yoinking every kill today. But it's fine. On any other champion, everyone would complain, but it's Master Yi, so, you know, 3 kills at 5 minutes on a Master Yi, that's gonna be pretty good. And so, seeing the Noxian invasion, Master Yi leapt into action, not wanting to see more of the Ionian people suffer, and he dives in, using the power of Wuju. He wipes out entire battalions single-handedly, because tapping in the spirit realm not only makes him super strong, it makes him super fast. He just wipes through the whole army in a blur. And in fact, the legend of the one-man army started to spread to the Noxian invasion force, as well as to the hilltops of Wuju, and that inspired some of the other students of Wuju to join him in the fight to fight back the Noxians. And Noxus, realizing that these guys were way too big of a threat, that they couldn't beat them in brute force like they usually do, they got something special. They got the help of, I believe it was Singe, that they used chemical warfare to basically smoke them out, burn down the entire village in chemical fire. And even though Yi was out there with a bunch of other students, somehow he was the only survivor. I don't know if that was just he went back to the village and then the rest of them died or something. So Yi is left as the only member of the Wuju Wuju order, and because all the masters are dead, he's the only one who knows the special art now. He kind of by default gets the title of master. And this was obviously quite depressing, although, you know, a lot of champions in League are the last of their kind or whatever it is. Master Yi still was like, I don't know if I can carry on my heritage if I alone can uphold the art of Wuju. So he wandered across Ionia kind of in depressing isolation until he bumped into a little Shimon boy. Which you don't know, Shimon, those are the monkey Vastaya. That's where Wukong is from. Except he was not called Wukong. He was called Kong. And Kong was very abrasive, wanting to fight Master Yi every day, coming back over and over to try and duel him, and Yi reluctantly just tossing him aside, beating him quite easily. But Yi could tell that this Shimon boy was quite determined, kept coming back every single day to try and beat him, failing but trying new tactics, and eventually getting the jump on Yi, if still not defeating him. Fast. Yes, another well-deserved kill by Mr. Yi. God damn it, my red buff. And eventually Kong said, listen, man, you know, I've been fighting every day. Please teach me your ways. I need to learn Wuju. And Yi suddenly realizing, wait, this actually might be my purpose. This might be what I need to do to teach Wuju to new people, to create a new order. And so he gives Wukong a magic staff. I don't know where he got that from, and dubs him a student of Wuju, and therefore it will now be known as Wukong. Which, like, I'm sorry, that's so fucking stupid. Does that mean if Yi had never become Master Yi, he'd be dubbed Wu Yi? Like, if Draven became Master Wu, he'd become Wu Draven? That is a horrible naming convention. That was definitely just a stupid retcon thing. It works for Ting. Call him Wu Ting. That sounds okay. Wu Jun. That's just Wuju. All right, Ash. You got the arrow. This is your time. This is your moment. I can still get it. Oh my... Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know if the recording picked that up, but my entire screen froze there. And so now that's where we're left with Yi. He's just trying to remake his own Wuju order by teaching these new students. And Wukong, I think, was actually a successful student. He's still arrogant, but Shimon are very, very bratty and snobbish when they're young. Thankfully, Wukong has matured since then, but there's like a whole story of Wukong trying to teach Ting about Wuju, and Ting is such a brat that even Wukong can't stand him and sends him to Yi. Like, teach this boy some discipline, please. But currently, Yi hasn't really done much else besides that. He fulfills a very similar role to Karma, just in very slightly different ways. In essence, they're both extraordinarily powerful Ionians with extraordinarily powerful spirit-based magic that can destroy entire armies single-handedly, but don't because they're pacifist nature. Which, now that I think about it, if you put Syndra, Karma, and Master Yi all together in a big tag team, like, couldn't they just win everything? Like, how do you stop a trio like that? They're all gods, basically. Now we can finally move on to his design, which is terrible. And Yi is uniquely terrible. That's primarily because model quality wise, he's completely fine. He holds up remarkably well because he did get a visual update back, and I think it was late 2013, might have been early 2013, but it was by that point that League character models actually started to look quite decent and not be super clunky animation wise. I tried to KS another one. Model-wise, he looks totally fine, but his design absolutely sucks ass. He looks like an action figure. He's so clunky and bulky in this Splinter Cell headgear. Boots look like they're from an 80s action figure toy. Why does he have swords strapped to them when he doesn't even use them? He has one big blade. In any other skin, does he even have those sword boots? Maybe some of his earlier ones. It's just ironic. Oh, jinx. It's just ironic because his whole design makes him look super bulky, and like his gear actively weighs him down like Darius does to make him look a lot more sturdy and powerful and tanky. But Yi is the definition of the speedy glass cannon. He's all about speed and attack speed and just getting around all over the place like a blur. He's literally like a flash of light. So his gear looks like it actually makes him slower. And then of course the goggles, man. Listen, I have a gripe with the goggles. I think everyone has a gripe with the goggles, as iconic in quotation marks as it is. I don't think it actually is, because I went back to look at his skins. You know when the last time he got a skin that actually included the goggles as goggles was? It was like 2012. If you count Project Yi, which has a bunch of lines on the helmet, or what was it? Blood Moon has like 4 eyes on the mask. Ever since then, Master Yi has not had a skin with actual goggles or more than 6. I guess Snowman has like 6 ice shards in it, but it's all just been masks with 2 eyes or any kind of variation of masks. Even closest to it would probably be Psyops, and that's still not the same. It's weird. It's like it's iconic to the base version of Master Yi, but it's not important enough to carry over between any skins with something like Warwick's canisters, for example. Morgana, Soda, I'm coming, Morgana. I'll save you. Oh, I didn't save you. Oh, wait. Perfectly timed. Ivered. Oh, you know what? Equal exchange. It's fine. You know what's weird? I like muscle memoried it, but I forget that W actually does give damage reduction after the duration for like a split second. I always forget about that. I was like, why did Master Yi just W and then immediately cancel it? He didn't get any healing. It's the damage reduction. Weird one single bit of remote skill expression in quotation marks that he has. The big problem with Master Yi as a design, again, is because he is so old, unfortunately. He was designed at a time when Ionia didn't have a distinct identity yet. Like, Garen is fortunate, and Darius is as well. Oh. Wait, this is some... My character literally said, oh, maybe he did say so fast. I thought he was referring to himself. Maybe he was actually just talking about Aurora. Darius and Garen are fortunate that their region's identity evolved with them. Master Yi got completely left in the dust. The only explanation is because Wuju is isolated part of Ionia. Sure, I guess, kind of like Buru. But at least Buru still looks like it fits into Bilgewater, like a pirate, serpent, water-themed area. You can make a completely new aesthetic for him, apart from the other Ionians, but he has to at least look kind of Ionian. The armor's way too bulky. It's so gross looking. And that's the unfortunate thing about it, right? Is that his design is awful, but his model is perfectly fine. And that's because he was updated when they actually started to make higher quality model updates, but they never really touched their design, like Alistar or Kassadin or Singe. And so he looks modern enough that they never need to touch him in terms of updating him, but he looks so awful that he needed a redesign really badly. And thankfully, Legends of Runeterra came to our rescue once again. And I absolutely love the Legends of Runeterra design. I don't mention him a lot when I talk about LOR. I usually mention like Nidalee or Zillion and stuff. Mostly because with Master Yi, again, you kind of forget that he looks as terrible as he is because his model's kind of fine. Because his model's kind of fine. But if you look at the design of LOR, it doesn't even come close to comparison. Oh boy. Okay. My computer's freezing a lot. Ivered, you took my only blue. Oh dear. Oh, wait, I have a Morgana. Wait a minute. I'm a Fed Master Yi with Black Shield. Wait a minute. We win the game. There isn't even one amazing thing about the LOR version. Everything about it combined is just flawless. One, the color scheme shifting away from the ugly black and gray and this puke yellow that we have with the base version and leads heavily into actual full green, this very dark, earthy green, these browns. Even the armor is a greenish gold, and all the armor is changed. It's incredibly slender and almost delicate looking. In fact, it kind of looks like it's modeled after leaves and grass and other various plants, and that complements his new physique. They made him incredibly slender and skinny, especially if you look at the concept art. Man is pencil thin in every aspect, and that is perfect because Master Yi doesn't rely on brute strength. He is all about speed and agility, dodging and weaving and using the power of Wuju to inflict damage instead of his own blunt force. So it makes him look that much more nimble, that much more like an agile swordsman. And again, all the armor, all the leaf aesthetics, even the sword, dude, the sword went from this like styrofoam Dollarama looking ass thing to a full-on leaf blade. Like it's made out of an actual blade of grass. And they kept the sci-fi goggles, which fine, okay, sure, but at least they slimmed it down a lot to not look as sci-fi. The goggle parts are replaced with gems. These are, wow, I wonder who that is, Nico. Could have fooled me. All technology like we have in the base version is removed from it there, made to look a lot more natural. The goggles are gems instead, which if I remember correctly, actually help the user see into the spirit realm. Gameplay! Ivered! Look at my gameplay! My ult is still active, Volibear. Don't you dare, my Morgana! Oh, that was almost a pentakill. Oh, rats. The new eyes are based heavily on the spirit of Wuju that we saw. Like the actual spirit that maybe actually supply. I don't remember what the lore is behind the Spirit of Wuju. I should probably look into it. And also, lastly, his face. I've long been critical of making characters attractive, but more so the thing that bugs me isn't making the characters attractive. It's that they're all the same kind of attractive. Like, let's make Talon attractive, so let's turn his face into Kain, or every character in Wild Rift. All the female characters all have the same looking face. All the male characters look like Kain, but Yi is a breath of fresh air. He's a very good looking guy, but he looks unique. I'm also running out of time. I gotta mention gameplay. I think Master Yi's gameplay is quite genius, actually. I don't agree that it's actually good for the game, but it is kind of ingenious game design. I don't think there's any other character I've played in League of Legends, and primarily why a lot of young people, I think, gravitate towards him. Also because he's cheap. He is incredibly simple, but he feels like you're doing a million things a minute. It's hard to describe unless you're actually playing Master Yi, but when you do play Master, you feel like you're a god. You feel like, holy moly, I'm so sick and awesome. Look at all these cool things I'm doing. It's like, nah, man, you're just pressing your Q off cooldown. Like, mechanically, you have one thing to dodge. You just have an innate ability to go invulnerable every 3 seconds, which is why I find it so funny that Master Yi mains always complain about Zhonya's. Like, yes, mages have to spend, what, like 2,600 gold on an item that lets them go invulnerable once every a minute and a half, but Master Yi gets to do that for free every, like, 2-3 seconds? I just think it's so funny. Master Yi players, again, I think it gravitates towards young people because at least back in the day, characters like Yasuo and Yone, these supposedly higher skill cap anime edgelords were all super expensive. Yi was the premier cheap anime edgelord, so all those people that really like that aesthetic heavily gravitate towards. Speaking of Zhonya's, they heavily gravitate towards him, and that's why I probably picked up Master Yi when I was a youngin' and trying to learn the game, because he doesn't really have many mechanics to learn, though that Q thing, that's new. He never used to do that. I went through a Master Yi phase. My brother went through a Master Yi phase. A lot of people, other people I know went through a Master Yi phase. I don't agree that it's healthy. He is kind of the ultimate noob stomper. Him and Katarina, people just pick these guys in lower elos against people that don't know how to counter things. Crowd control, I guess, is the main counter for him, but so is every other hyper carry, so I don't know. Wait, I have Black Shield. I can do this! I was an alpha. All right, I had to get one in. Thank you for watching this week's Casual Champion Review, everybody. I'll see you next week for Melio. I'm very excited because I love Melio. So take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend, and goodbye. Yeah.